Hey guys, welcome to my channel Elite Wrestling World. My name is GhostSaad. Thank you guys for joining me right here on AEW Dynamite post-show review. Dynamite was a very good show tonight. Dynasty pay-per-view is building up, which is going to be fantastic. It's Wednesday night and you know what that means. Loaded show tonight in Toronto. The show opens with footage of Adam Copeland and Christian Cage arriving at the arena earlier today, as well as Okada driving up in a slick Ferrari. Toni is in the ring and introduces Mercedes before handing off the microphone to her for a promo. She greets Toronto and talks about how excited she is to be here and how all of this almost got taken away from her 10 months ago, when she got hurt before tossing to a video package of her debut last week. She talks about how she was rocking and rolling and kicking but all over. She hasn't finished business with Willow, and anybody that tries to get in that business is gonna go bankrupt. The lights go down. They come up and Sky Blue runs in and eats a lung blower. Julia Hart eats a kick, up for the money maker, but Blue makes the save. Chris and Willow come down to even the odds. The lights go down again. When they come back up, Julia and Sky are gone and Willow's got a chair cocked and loaded behind Mercedes. She turns around and Nightingale drops the chair and fumes. Mercedes jaws at her and makes her exit. Renee is at ringside recounting a conversation she had with Eddie Kingston earlier today, where he said he was going to dispel the myth of Okada. Eddie Kingston versus Okada for AEW Continental Champions. Hip. Feeling out, Okada keeping his distance, collar and elbow. Kingston backing him into the ropes. Kazuchika breaks clean with a fake-out slap into a pat on the chest. Eddie takes him down. Kick combos, big chop puts the Rainmaker into the mat. Eddie floats out of a slam and hits and ends with Jiri, calling for it. Okada ducks the back fist and hits a spinning body slam, drawing Kingston up. Rainmaker, it's over. Okada wins by pinfall with the Rainmaker, becoming your new AEW Continental Champion. Post-match, PAC makes his entrance to confront Okada. Renee interviews Swerve Strickland backstage. He says his intention is the same as always, the AEW World Championship. Samoa Joe tried to humiliate him by choking him out, but he has a history of choking people out himself, and now Joe is running from him. Back from commercial, Renee interviews Chris, Willow and Stokely in the back. Willow says tonight she'll have been in more street fights than any woman on the roster, and Chris says tonight is going to be the end. Mercedes rolls up and Chris thanks her for having Willow's back last week, and she goes off on how that's what a CEO does and how payback is before shaking her hand and saying it's nice to meet her. Stoke tries to introduce himself and fails, and then tries to reassure Willow and fails. Next up is Chris Jericho versus Hook. Collar and elbow. Hook right out the gates with a suplex. Chris gets to his feet clutching the back of his neck and Hook rushes in with elbows in the corner. Jericho wades in with chops. Hook ducks one. Tazplex connects. Naughty NOUGH. Chris falls to the mat. Hook has it sunken, but Jericho slaps out and lands some forearms. Double leg, punches, Hook reverses. Hook wins by pinfall with a small package. Adam Cole cuts a promo and says last week Wardlow disappointed him by not winning the title from Samoa Joe. He had one job and he failed, and now neither of them is champion. Now Wardlow has a new goal, and it's his job to make sure Undisputed Kingdom keep the gold they have, and then maybe they'll forgive him. He's not saying this out of anger, but because he cares and he wants what's best for Wardlow, so don't screw it up. Toni introduces Will Ospreay for another chat in the ring. Will clears the air and admits the last time he was here he was a bit of a naughty boy, but now he's changed and asks for some maple syrup. He talks about watching Bryan wrestle Shibata on Collision, and calls Bryan out for being grateful for their match, but also saying Will couldn't walk in his shoes, and maybe he's right, because when he went to Japan, the place where Danielson wanted to be a big star, he saw his shoes and knew he couldn't fit in them because they were too small. He talks about all the things he achieved in New Japan and calls out Shibata. 7 years ago they fought and Katsuyori beat the out of him. But now he's a 30-year-old man with 3 pugs, 2 cats, a missus, a kid, and something to prove. So next week on Dynamite he wants to fight Shibata. Next up is Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa versus Mariah May and Toni Storm, brawling before the bell as the baby faces light on them. May and Purrazzo trading elbows in the ring as we get a bell. Off the ropes, dropkick, tag to Toni, double whip. Rosa with a Death Valley driver on May, German suplex from Storm, coming back, quick jackknife. Deonna Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa win by pinfall with a jackknife pin from Rosa on Toni Storm. Back from commercial, Shane Swerve Strickland makes his entrance for his open challenge. Butcher Andy Williams answers the challenge, Strickland punching him into the corner. Fireman's carry drop into the turnbuckles, following it with a big boot, running uppercut, slinging Williams aside, diving uppercut to the back. House call connects, off the top for another Swerve stomp, but he's not done. Shane Swerve Strickland wins by submission with a short arm scissors. Post-match, Swerve cuts a promo about how after a while he really stopped liking Samoa Joe and now he's real close to hating him. Samoa Joe makes his entrance, microphone in hand. He asks what to do about Swerve, since he's been beaten and shoved down the ladder. But his major problem is that he still believes that the impossible is possible. And if he stands toe-to-toe with Joe that he can box with a god. And that's when he realized exactly what to do with Swerve. And that's to give him exactly what he wants. Don Callis interrupts from the stage. He's booed out of the building as he complains about Strickland booking a title match when he and Konosuke have the same amount of wins, but Takashita is undefeated outside of the Callis family. So maybe Shane needs to learn what it feels like to lose to the family. This company isn't Swerve's house, it's the Don Callis family house. Strickland says if he wasn't busy he'd burn the family house to the ground. But he will wrestle Konosuke and then he'll come after Joe. It's main event time on Dynamite. Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage for AEW TNT Championship I Quit match. Cage comes in hard with punches into the corner. Copeland shrugs him off. He's got him lined up but Christian bails to the floor, chasing the champion up the steps into the crowd and we go to break. Copeland busters Cage into the ladder but he still won't quit. Cage catapults Copeland face first into a ladder bridge in the corner, but he will not quit. Nobody home on the concerto. He chokes the words out, but Nick Wayne hits the ring and attacks Copeland before he can finish, saying them, Daddy Magic and Daniel Garcia even the odds. Adam goes up top off a ladder and to the floor through the Christian group on the floor. Opening the case, he removes Spike and wings up and destroys Christian Cage's genitals. He won't quit, but Adam goes for an overhand shot this time. Christian quits. Adam Copeland is your new AEW TNT champion. That's the show, folks. Next week Dynamite show is stacked as well. Will Ospreay versus Shibata. Young Bucks versus Private Party in Tag Team Tournament. Swerve versus Konosuke. Please guys like and share this video, subscribe to my channel and keep watching Elite Wrestling World.